What's the difference between a Big Gun and a BGX or a Big Gun X shock?
Good question. Well, as we started years ago, we just had bias ply tires, okay? And as we developed more and more horsepower and the 10.5 style racing became very popular, we could quickly see that we did not have enough shock to control all that horsepower going through the suspension on a relatively small footprint and not a lot of sidewall. So the Big Gun valving was a step up from our standard just eliminator shock, double adjustable, stiffer rebound so that we could control the rear suspension more effectively at the launch. So initially the Big Gun valving was more for the bias ply tire. When the radial tire became so popular in the early 2000s, we could see that the sidewall of the radial tire was a good bit stiffer. So the frequency was higher, the bounce was greater, and so we had to go in and make adjustments to the compression side of the shock to then control the rebound side of the tire. We had to go into the compression side of the shock to control the tire once it's been applied to the racetrack, because we saw a lot of guys running high anti-squat values, which put a lot of load into the tire. It compressed the sidewall, and so the shock needs to have enough control to keep the tire from bouncing off the racetrack. So the two big differences: the Big Gun shock is for typically a bias ply tire. The BGX shock is more for a radial specific tire, mostly when we're running a high anti-squat value and we're really going to try to load the tire excessively. Because again, when we load the tire, it could potentially act like a basketball if we don't have enough shock to control what's happening back there.
A BG and a BGX have the identical look, do they not?
They're the same.
That's where having a genuine AFCO rod guide on it will actually have that part number and the serial number. So if you buy a used set of shocks and if you don't know if it's for a drag radial or a bias ply tire, you can always go by that serial number.
You could give us a call and we could look that build up and let them know what they have for the valving. And then we can either make the adjustment here or at one of our rebuild centers.